I am going to start the recording, however, and I want to hear celebrations. I want to hear what has changed over the last week, what has changed over the last 3 months. Big things, little things, I don't even care, because remember, it's not the size of the victory that's important. It's that we acknowledge and celebrate the victories, because then more of them will come. So who would like to start with their victories and successes?
I do. I want to
All right, Miss Amy Winfrey. What do you say?
Well, I was just thinking, well, faith is kind of a theme today. Having faith, but also, so like with Prosperity Essentials course, faith is an aspect of it, that we need to have faith that it's gonna like what we put into it, we're gonna get back out of it. But that's not what I was gonna say. I find money every time I go walking now, and not just, but it's not just I pick it up and I say thanks for coming into my life, but then I also am tracking it, which I have a yellow notebook that I was working on. Like, I would track it in the yellow notebook. I don't know which bag it's in at any time, and so now I've made it so that it's super easy. I just got a checkbook cover and a checkbook register that I can just quickly do it, but I don't know where that is now. I need to find that. So it's not like I'm perfect, but it's definitely like what you track grows. And so
Yes.
So yesterday I found like 12 cents, and today was 25 cents.
You doubled it. You doubled your income.
Track it on your phone.
Oh,
What?
Amy, that's a great idea. She said track it on your phone.
Where? How?
There's probably some app that you can download. There's an app for everything.
There is.
Yeah.
You can do a writing one. I have a Samsung phone, and it just was built right into the phone. That's a little writing app. And so I use that to record stuff all the time.
Okay.
But that's awesome. You won't lose your phone. That's like, it's on our person. It's either in our bra, it's in our underwear. It's like, we don't go anywhere, even to the bathroom, without our phones these days, right? So that's a great idea, Amy. Make it easy.
Yeah,
Make it really easy and really simple, so that you're not constantly having to find things.
Yeah.
But that's super cool that you doubled your abundance in one day. You did. 12, you more than doubled it. Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And I would do that, and then I'd be like, oh, it's only a nickel. And I was talking to an expert about that. I was interviewing him on a summit I was doing a number of years ago, and he was like, don't say that. Are you kidding? Don't put judgment on the size. Don't put labels on the size. Otherwise, you're just negating what you just did. And I'm like, oh, crap. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So yay for nickels. Did you find a quarter? Is that what you found? Was a quarter for 25 cents? Oh my gosh. And he says he finds quarters all the time. And I'm like, I never find quarters. Oh, that's because at the time, that's what I declared. I never found quarters. So it's interesting. It's interesting what you speak. What you speak, you manifest, and what you believe, and those stories that you tell, right? So thank you for sharing that, Amy Winfrey. Anybody else want to share victories, successes?
Well, I will.
Okay, Amy Rose.
My daughter looks for coins on the ground all the time, and when she finds coins, the other day she found a dime and a penny, and she just says, I just love how the world is so abundant.
Oh, that's darling.
So,
how old is she?
7.
7. Oh, that's powerful. That's
Yeah.
powerful right there.
So this last week I've been working with my other daughter who just turned 18. She has got a lot more weight than she would like to have also on her body, that she's attracted to her, because she said she loves food. And I feel like I've, to a degree, let her down as a parent, because I've let her get that way without, like, not necessarily harping on her, but like showing her, being a good example for her to go exercise, because that's like, I I would rather go scrub the toilets with my fingernails than go exercise. I really don't like it. I do know the benefits of it. I do love it when I do it, but I don't want to be one of those gym rats. I don't want to be like, I don't know. I think my problem is I want to go dancing, like, because I used to be a cheerleader and in gymnastics and stuff, but then my head goes, well, you can't afford that. And so then it's just like,
Okay.
So, but yesterday my daughter and I went to the local gym, one of the local gyms here, and got a 3-day pass. So yesterday we did rowing, and we did like a circuit. We only did like 5 reps. We were not going to kill ourselves.
Right.
And then today we did butts and guts. And it was a lot of weights and on the ground and butterflies. And oh my gosh, we walked out of there going, And tomorrow we're going to go try spinning. So she's really proud of herself that she actually like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And so I think that now with the new Relief Society ministering that's going on, she's going to be probably my companion. And so I think that's going to build a whole different relationship than we've had up to this point. So I'm excited to see that happen. So
awesome. That is fantastic. And what Amy's referring to was a religious thing that doesn't apply to everybody here. I just whacked my knee. Oh, that was beautiful. So, but what a wonderful opportunity for you to have even a stronger, deeper connection with your daughter. And that is absolutely beautiful. And for you guys to do something that's hard for both of you, that's out of your comfort zone, that you're stretching just a little bit. So I love that you're starting where you're at. And, you know, in the world of possibilities, like if we step out of the world of our story and go into the world of possibilities, where you want to dance or you want to do, you know, something that has, you know, that's a little bit more tumbling or, you know, like whatever is your background, in the world of possibilities, like what opens up there? You can do some research. I mean, look what you already did. You got a 3-day free pass. What else is out there that you can try and that you can even to just ask, hey, can we try out this class today? Can we try out this dance class? There's a workout called Shine Dance something that one of my clients absolutely loves, and it's a dance workout. And she said it's just amazing. In fact, try do a YouTube search on that. There's actually YouTube videos on Shine, and see what's there. We've got so many resources that we just forget about because we get wrapped up in the story where our head says, I can't afford that, and no shuts down everything. No's close so many doors. A no closes every door.
I know exactly where that story comes from, and I'm trying to. No, trying is a bad word.
Do you do or you do not?
That sounds like victim mode. No, I do. When I was growing up, I was in gymnastics, and my parents had 11 kids. I mean, they couldn't always afford everything for all of us, and I was going to be the Olympic gymnast, and I was mad that I got taken out of gymnastics because they couldn't afford it. And I'm probably sure that's not the actual story, but that's just what I associated with it. So anyway, I'm working on it.
Awesome. And it's a tiny little tweak, Amy. It's just a tiny little tweak in the world of possibilities. What exists? Who am I in that world of possibilities? Right. And what's available to me in that world of possibilities? I love to say powerful people ask for what they want and they ask for what they need. And that has led me to ask for things that in the past I would not have asked for. And it's just, you know, and I'm completely unattached from whether they say yes or no. So I'm not in that, oh, what if you say, what if she says, like with the intensive next week, like I came across some amazing information that is going to be so helpful to everybody there. It's copyrighted. And I was like, oh, they're probably going to tell me no. Like that was the story that came. And I was like, but powerful people ask for what they want. So how about I just email them and ask if I can use their material and give them credit. And the people that I did that immediately, yes, just give me the credit. Send them over here to this website. I'm like, done. I'm happy to do that. And then later on, I was like, well, of course they would say yes. It's free publicity. It's more credibility. But my story was like, oh, they're going to say, no, this is my IP, which is intellectual property. This is mine. You can't do it unless this, that, and the other. And that was the story. And if I had bought into that and stayed in the world of the story, oh my gosh, I'd still be scrambling going, and now I have to come up with my whole original intensive, and I don't know the material. And for years I did that, ladies, for years I did that. I'm like, I can't teach that because it's not mine. And it's got to be completely original. And I've never had an original thought in my mind. So who do I think I am? Like, that was the story for so long. And so where you've got the we can't afford it story, just realize, okay, well, I don't like that story. It's not getting me what I want. So what do I want? And what does it look like? And who am I in that world of possibilities? You're already stepping into it. You totally are. So just like, step back from so much work and just be like, well, I'm changing the story, change the ending because I have that much power, because you really do. But awesome successes, fantastic victories. Good for you. Do you want to share anything with us?
Why don't I?
Please do. And talk as long as you want, because we love your accent.
Oh my God. Hi everyone. I know I haven't really been around, but there's a bunch of things really that did happen. You've asked it in the beginning. It's like, oh, I don't really think I have any successes, but come to think of it, I was in Greece last week. I went on Thursday and I came back yesterday, and it's the Greek Easter this past weekend it was, and I decided that I'm not going, for the first time ever really, I've decided that I'm not going to think how I'm going to try and get there, because normally it's very difficult to find flights, and it's very difficult because there's very few and they get booked really quickly, and because all the students in London book to go and see their families and whatnot, and they get really stratospherically expensive, like, stupid expensive flights to go to Greece, which is 3 hours from London. So I decided that I'm not going to think about it. There's going to be a solution, and I'm really not going to do what I normally do: A, freak out, and B, buy a very expensive flight, because it's just going to go away and then I won't have a ticket. So for the first time, Alison, I actually didn't buy my ticket. Well, it ended up happening that my partner, who was going to join me, was only going to join me on the going in, and on the coming back, he needed to go to France. So in order for us to sit together, he said, oh, I'll buy the tickets to go in. So so I didn't even have to do anything. The tickets got bought for me. Okay. So there we go. So there's that. And then I got in, I got to Greece, and I got, Saturday, I'm flying back supposedly either Sunday night or Monday night. And I was like, okay, it's really weird. I said, there's going to be a really cheap coming back ticket now, and I'm going to sit now and buy it, because I was checking the night before, and the Thursday and Friday I checked, and it was just crazy to come back. And the prices dropped, and there was a really cheap ticket that fitted just about on my credit card, and I could buy it, and it was very stress-free. Me on Saturday afternoon booking for Sunday night, go back from Greece to London. And for the first time, the stress head, will probably be in like, oh my God, I'm going to be stranded in Greece. I'm going to be able to go to work, blah, blah, blah. So it was incredible. It was cheaper than 3 weeks before that I checked, and it was easy for me to book. I ended up coming back exactly when I wanted. And the whole trip, because I'm getting paid this Thursday, and I needed the money that I'm getting paid this Thursday for the trip over there. It just didn't matter. Like, I guess what I mean is, like, my partner made it very easy. We bought the gifts that we needed to buy. I found the gifts that I needed to find, to give to my niece and my nephew. It was almost like I stopped thinking, how the hell am I going to find the money to get this to work in a way that I won't feel always that I really don't have enough to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I wanted to do anything crazy. But it worked because I stopped focusing. What I focused on actually was what I really wanted to happen, not the money that it's going to cost. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I said, I wanted to go to Greece. I was going to go to Greece. God knows how I would end up going, but I would. And I would come back when I wanted to come back. And what really mattered was for me to just stop stressing. This is something that I'm really working on. And I guess I haven't really joined the lives much, but all I have done for the last however many weeks we've been, working together is to stop stressing about what's not happening and what hasn't happened and what hasn't materialized. And that somehow, if I keep doing what I'm doing, like, I'm applying myself to all the things that we're doing, and I get more clear as to what I really want in my life, eventually things do happen. So last week, I think it was a testament to that, because actually, that's not really, you had to control flights and people and prices and blah, blah, blah. Yet, who cares? It doesn't even exist. You know what I mean? It's like, It just really, you do create it if you just let it go.
Yes, which feels so completely counterintuitive. Did you hear what she said? You do create it if you just let it go. What? Yeah, it's what I talked about on my Facebook Live. Can you have success without the struggle? Absolutely, you can. The easiest, and I forgot to say this on my live because I was like, I gotta go. But the easiest $50,000 that I made came from like the most simple. I won't say a dumb idea because it was a freaking brilliant idea from the way everything turned out. But it was letting go. It was, all right, what is my next step? I want more clients and I want 10 grand this month. So what's it going to take? What's my next step? And then I got quiet and I let the idea come, and it was send an email. Okay. Send an email. In 5 days, I had 15,000. Within 2 months, I had almost 52,000. Like, that is success without the struggle, ladies, because it wasn't, oh crap, how do I do this? You just went right to the end. I'm going to be in Greece because I want to go. I'm going to go at the time I want to go. And you let go of the how, and the how came to you. And that's how it works.
Absolutely, and it's amazing. One thing that I've got to say, it's for the past month, I have real strong intent though, Alison. Like,
Yes.
If I intend something, this isn't about me dreaming or hoping it and then just sort of letting it go, and it's not going to, so that this is going to happen. So then on Saturday, I did sit and found 10 minutes and I say, right now, I'm going to go and clear my, time, and I'm going to look for the flight, and it's going to be there, because like trying to be responsible, having an intent and letting it go, it's a really interesting combination of things. Like you somehow need to let it go, and at the same time you need to show up, I guess.
Yes,
that makes sense.
Yes, and I appreciate you talking about the intention, because most of us just get all wishy, right? And we're just like, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, I'm going to let it go. I put it out there and I'm going to let it go. Well, no, you didn't. You didn't put it out there. You just totally let it go because you didn't put the intention behind it, which is, I'm going to experience this. I just am. I don't know how. I just know that I am. And so I see myself there, right? And the feeling of it there. Because the money was just the means. And so often we think the money is the end, right? And so we get all caught up in that. But it was like, no, here is my intent. And intent is powerful, ladies. Oh my goodness. Intent is everything. But intent connects you with that end goal you want, that outcome that you want, while allowing you to let go of how and when, and helping you just get with that feeling that you expect to have once what you want arrives. Is that landing? Is that making sense? Because we can get really esoteric really quickly, but it's really simple. And I think we tend to overthink it. And I can lovingly poke at Ioana just a little bit. We've worked together for a number of years, and she gets to be a stress face in the past. In the past, when she was like, stress head, she wasn't kidding. She wasn't kidding about that. So the fact that she did this, I understand how huge that is for you. Like that is light years from where you were 2 years ago. Absolutely. And was it easy? Let me ask you that. Was it easy?
There's a really strange thing. It is actually very easy. You know, if you're not spinning in, oh my God, how is this going to happen? Like, and you know how I can spin. Like spinning is like my middle name. And
it was not anymore.
I can get, well, yeah, there you go. And you know, if you get really obsessed, it wasn't that I somehow knew that if I really kind of I guess I become a bit more curious about what is going to show up, and I keep and look for what's going to turn up. Like, it's not that I manifested Eric sitting next to me and saying, you know what, I think I'm going to book both tickets on my card because I have to sit next to you, because otherwise we're not going to be able to sit next to you, and I'll book it and give me the money next week. I didn't even ask him to do it. It was just his own bloody thing. And that is the miracle of, like, you know, I knew that we were gonna go. I mean, we were gonna go, and if that didn't happen, I'm pretty sure that something else would have happened, and I would have managed to go there. It's just that I don't have any expectations. This how, really stop thinking of the how, but really getting a little bit more tuned in. I had no doubt that I'm gonna get home. I had no doubt that I was gonna spend Easter, and what really mattered was for me to take the time off. That I needed to control it, and I did. And the rest was going to happen. And it did. And I say this with so much certainty, you know, like, you know, that I don't believe often. I'm the scientist in all of this. And I decided that, you know what, stop this. It's gonna have to start happening, because I'm tired of what you discussed earlier, the struggle. I'm tired of the struggle. I can't anymore. I'm exhausted. Mm-hmm. I'm exhausted of, like, things not happening, or whether they're going to happen or not. Who cares? You know? And what really matters is for me to get clear of where I want to be. There's something about that. Like, where do I want to be? I want to be in Greece. How it's going to happen? It's going to happen. There's a difference. Not that, you know, where I want to be is in a position to pay for it. There you go. My partner paid for it. You know what I mean? That's something that I can't think of. I wouldn't have thought about it.
And who do you want to be throughout it? Because you were like, I'm not going to be a stress head about this. I'm just not going to stress. So who she decided to be in that was calm and believing and certain.
And that was instant, you know, like, this is really weird. If you get stress out of your life, I think, and if you really tune in with the fact that what you're saying on your call before our call, like, you know, sit in the now, you're okay. You're really okay. Yeah. Don't stress. You know, like, right now, nothing is happening. You know, you don't need to be stressed. And you do this one moment at a time. It enabled me to get to exist in a very stressful environment. My work is incredibly stressful. Mm-hmm. My life is, I'm sure everyone's, but, like, stress had ill effects to the degree that, you know, I was starting getting really sick. So that's what I got to say. Then it gets very easy and very miraculous. And I owe you this. I haven't managed to really say this before, Alison. I feel I owe you this. I owe you my new life. So.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. My heart just went, so hooray. I love it when people get it. And I love it when I get it. Like, I'm part of this as well. I created this for me because I was like, how do I do this? Because I was so into the house. But I really, like, ladies, I want you to go back and I want you to listen to the first 20 minutes of this when Ioana started talking, because she dropped so many nuggets with her experience. She decided, she got intentional. She decided to let go. And ladies, the struggle is the stress, and stress is a choice. As a matter of fact, it is a conscious choice. It's not like this hidden program that we got to dig through our past to try to find. It is a conscious choice that we make to stress out about something. And we're trained to do it. Okay? And so we get to just let go of, like, fault finding in ourselves or in others, and the origin story. Like, who cares? That's such a waste of time. It's right here. It's right now. What am I going to choose just in this moment? Just in this moment. And our mind is designed, and society has trained us to drop into next Tuesday, and to drop into how am I going to get home on Saturday, and drop into, like, all of those hows. But it's like, no, right now, am I okay? Right now, am I good? And how do I feel? Right now in this moment. Success without struggle happens moment by moment by moment. And that's where your power is. Your power is in the moment. But we give our power away when we go to next Saturday and go, oh, good gravy, how am I going to get home? I'm going to be stranded. And Ioana and I have had conversations like this in the past. I got to get to France. I don't know how to get to France. And then I'm going to be stranded there and I'm not going to get the equipment there. And the equipment is worth a buttload of money and it's going to get broken. And I'm like, oh, I love you. Let's stop. Let's just stay right here. Oh my goodness, we're good. Like, let go. And then she would like email me later and she's like, it worked out. It's so amazing. I'm bawling right now. And now she's like, well, this is just how I'm going to be. This is how I choose to be. This is not how, but who I choose to be in this moment. I just expect it to work out. I was listening to this awesome podcast and she said, expectation is where desire and belief meet. That's where your expectation is. Desire and belief, where they meet, it creates expectation and that certainty. And so many of us are waiting for the physical evidence to show up before we're certain. So what I would call Ioana's experience is the ultimate faith experiment. Like that's what she stepped into and it's an actual frequency. It's not like, oh, I hope it's going to turn out. Like that's not faith. And that's really not hope either. That's wishing and that's desperation energy. But it's that frequency of faith. I don't know how, but the frequency of faith is a creation frequency. And so I just know that it will. And I'm okay right now. And ladies, even if the day comes that you don't have the money to pay that particular bill, are you still okay? Like, are you still alive? Is anybody hauling your butt off to jail? Even if they repo your car, are you okay? Yeah, you're safe. You're alive. You got your family. You've got are you still okay? And in that moment, you get to decide what's working for me in the moment. This podcast I was listening to today was talking about, we can have 100 things going right in our life and we can have one thing going wrong. And we focus in on that one thing and then, we give attention to it and then it grows because what we focus on expands. And then we just dismiss all of the 100 things that are going right. But if we can be that person who 100 things can be going wrong in our life, but one thing is going right, and we hone in on the thing that's going right and just feel appreciation for what's going right. And gratitude for that one thing that is going right and put our energy toward that, all of the things that are going wrong will untwist themselves because it's just a reflection of the vibration that you are in the moment, that thought and the emotion that you are in the moment. And so many of us try to hold this high vibration. And I used to teach that. I do believe you got to stabilize there. But I'm like, okay, we got to hold it. We got to hold it. We got to hold it. We got to shore up the way that we're doing things. We got to make sure that we're strong and holding this high vibration. But we're wired. We're wired for high vibrations. And what we tend to do with the worry and with putting ourselves in the future is we push ourselves down like a cork. Right? Corks just naturally float. Well, we can push a cork down underwater, but if we remove the pressure, the cork just bounces, it like explodes right back out of the water and floats back on the water. And so what you get to do is you get to take away those things that are pushing you down, that are pushing your vibration down. And that's a whole lot easier to do, honestly, than trying to hold your vibration up. It really is, because we can see in the moment like, oh crap, I'm stressing out right now. Oh, all right, what do I prefer? Do I want to feel stressed or do I want to feel calm? What would I rather have? Well, I'd rather feel calm. Do you know that in that very moment, with you declaring what you would rather have, you've chosen it. You will feel the stress just like dissipate. It's like fairy dust all of a sudden. And when you can be aware of where you are in your mind, in your inner stance, at each moment, and ladies, it's not hard. Your emotions will tell you where you are. And the thoughts you had today are the exact thoughts you had yesterday. So people are like, no, I had to be the gatekeeper of my 60,000 thoughts a day. Don't worry, they're all the same thought. It's okay. It's really not that hard. And then what if it doesn't change? Well, what if nothing changes, but you feel great, regardless of nothing changing? Has something changed? Yeah. Something huge has changed. And then your circumstances have to shift. They have to shift. Let go of the circumstances. That's the struggle. That's the struggle. because we get so focused on the physical of what's going on and not what's going on in here. And then we get reactive. And then we're just, we just hand our power away. Here. I'll run my story. I'll run my story because that's familiar. Even though I hate it, I know how this ends. Maybe it'll be different. And there are times when we run that story and then something really cool happens. You know, I mean, God is an 11th hour God. I experienced that not so long ago. Like, the money was gone, ladies. I was like, I don't know where it's going to come. And then God came in at that 11th hour and that was important to teach me, first of all, not to give so much freaking power to something as energetically neutral as money. But it really strengthened my faith in a higher power and in an intelligence that is aware of me, and he can and he will rescue. But when we go into that somebody save me mode, we just push our power away. Nobody's coming to save you because you don't need saving. You don't need anybody to save you. You got it. It's already built within you. And it's easy to do. Success without the struggle is so simple. It's like Jim Gaffigan. It's so simple. It's so simple. It's fun. I mean, Ioana, you are going to remember that vacation for a very, very long time because of how aware you were, and you got what you asked for. You got what you commanded. And it wasn't this, it has to be this way, chokehold kind of a thing. It was like, this is how, I don't know how it's going to work. I just know it's going to work because I say so. And they were like, and then the universe was like, oh, yeah, you're right. And we can do just the opposite. I don't know how this is going to work out. I just hope it's going to work out. Please tell me how it's going to work out. And the universe is like, oh, yeah, you're right. We don't know how it's going to work out either. Best of luck to you. It just naturally responds. So is this landing? Can you hear this? This is so completely off course. Well, it's not off course. It's actually right on course, but is not in my notes at all. Today was going to be the next interview. No, this is exactly where we needed to go. You agree? This was exactly where we needed to go. Yeah, absolutely. It's just such a testament how powerful you are. And those powerful questions that we get to ask ourselves are simple questions. Do I prefer this or do I prefer this? Powerful questions. Instead of, how am I going to feel better? What do I prefer right now? And it's not even, what am I choosing in the moment? It's what do I prefer? This is what I'm experiencing. I've got a lot of dread right now. I've got a lot of overwhelm right now. Okay, well, would I rather feel overwhelmed? Would I rather feel calm? Would I rather feel doubt or would I rather feel certainty? What would I rather feel right now? Certainty. Absolutely. Calm. Yeah. Okay. And that's like where the questions end, ladies. You don't even have to be into, okay, now what must I do to experience calm? Because in that moment, you're experiencing calm. Because you chose it. And then when the doubt comes back in, and it does, because I was playing around with this today. And it was like, oh, but what happens when next week? And I'm like, I'm not in next week. But I'm in today, and I'm going to change next week now. Okay, and I really want you to hear this. Like I said in my live, you don't create next Tuesday. You create next Tuesday today. What you are experiencing physically today happened 2 weeks ago in your vibration, in your thoughts, and in your emotions. But we live in time lag. So your current reality you created 2 weeks ago. You did. So now you're like, okay, so I get to experience this reality. So if I want something different to come up physically for me in 2 weeks, 3 months, like you don't really get to say time frame, but generally we're about a 2-week time lag. That's generally speaking. Now, if we're wanting to create something that feels really big to us, we're in a bigger time lag for that. You know, like it's really easy to like manifest a cup of coffee or a cup of hot chocolate or a girls' night or whatever. If we're wanting to manifest a 6-figure month and we're currently unemployed, like that's bigger for us. Okay, so there's more time lag involved in that because there's more moving pieces in that than there is with the girls' night or I'm going to run down to Starbucks and grab me something. Okay. So there's more time lag involved in things like that, which is totally fine. But you create it today. You create it right now with your thoughts and your feelings and the story that you're in. And are you in the world of your story, or are you in the world of possibilities? The world of your story, you're going to get more of the same. The world of possibilities requires you to be somebody else in that moment. Not somebody else, but it requires you to be a higher version of you than you currently are. And sometimes that higher version is just calm. Many times it's just calm and believing. That, like, that's all it is. It's not like, okay, so now I have to be fit and trim and up at 5, and like there's pieces that help you with that. But it's like, okay, in this moment, how do I be a 5-star wife? How do I be a 5-star lover, 5-star partner? How do I be a 5-star mom or a 5-star stepmom? Like in this moment, what does that look like? Just in this moment for me to be a 5-star whatever. Many times it looks like a text that says, hey, thinking about you, with a GIF that makes them laugh. Like we think it has to be this huge thing, and that we have to do and be and like the house, and don't. It's just, okay, if in this moment I'm going to be a 5-star coach and mentor to you, what does that require of me? That requires me to shut my notes and talk to you with what you need to hear and follow some inspiration. Not that my notes aren't inspired, but this is a whole lot juicier to me than, okay, let's go back and do a review, because we kind of are reviewing anyway. But like, do you hear that? Like, it's just, man, Ioana opened up this beautiful experience and discussion that we get to have of success without struggle. What would success what would that be? What would that feel like? Success without struggle. And what's required of me to live a life of success without struggle is me staying right here in the moment and connecting to my power right here in the moment, and then being deliberate about it, intentional about it. Like Ioana said, I had to carve out 10 minutes where I was going to find that flight. Like the flight didn't just like land in her inbox and then suddenly, like you can starve to death with a pantry full of food, because you are required to go to the pantry. Now, how many of us go to the pantry and then we stare at the pantry? Like we still haven't taken action. We're looking at it. We're wishing for it. We're not in the mood for that, right? It requires us to reach in and then pull out the bread and pull out the peanut butter, or like whatever it is. It requires action on our part. But many times we're like, oh, this is going to require me to sprint a freaking marathon. And that's what life is teaching us to do, is sprint a freaking marathon. And that's not necessary. It's not. It's just moment by moment. It's success without struggle. I'm going to have success without struggle, even when kids are having a meltdown around me, even when coworkers or employees are having some sort of a freak out on me, or things feel like they're falling apart. How do I have success without struggle? Just right in this moment. Well, what is working? What is working right in this moment? Well, what's working is I'm on my feet. My feet feel good. And my hair worked. I'm feeling confident today. I had a great breakfast. We're not all coffee drinkers here, but man, I had an awesome coffee this morning, if that's indeed what you did. Or I had a fantastic workout. I pushed without hurting me. Like I did something I haven't done, so I've stretched my zone just a little bit. It's like it's the 11-cent fine to the 25-cent fine to the $25,000 fine. And it's that celebration and that looking, like Ioana, I looked for things. I was aware of where I was, and I had to look for a flight. Like when Amy found change on the road, she wasn't looking in the trees. She was aware of her surroundings and just being in her surroundings. Like power, lady. So this whole course has been designed to help you have success without struggle, and to create success without struggle. And it helps us feel much more grounded when we can see what is going on around us, right? When we can see, like the behind the scenes, like, that's how that works. That's why we did universal laws. And we talked about so many of the universal laws. Because when we can understand that the law of cause and effect, like that right now is my favorite law. Because when we can understand that I'm the cause and everything else is just the effect, then I just got to work on me. I don't have to work on the effects. Because the effects change once the cause changes. They have to, because they're a byproduct. Like they have to. They have to. The effects of the results aren't just like, well, I'm going to stay here, even though the cause changed. Like it's an eternal principle. You don't mess with it, because it works all the time, whether you work or not. But too often we just get right into the effect and right into the result. Now I got to get another job, and now I got to figure this out. Now we got to save, and we got to cut this out, and we got to cut that out. Like the whole nonsense story about I can't afford it. Like, but I'm going to do it. I don't care what the price says. What I'm going to do it. I see myself in the gymnastics class. I see myself in the dance class. I love how I feel. It's so great to move my body in this way again. It's so much fun. I'm bonding with my daughter. I love going to class. Picture yourself there. And then it's like, okay, so now what's going to show up as the vehicle to get me there? And maybe it's a Groupon. And maybe I have no idea. It's not up to me. And that's what's so great, because like the universe has so many more resources than I do that it can pull from, and it loves to show you magic. Like Ioana, like the whole weekend, the universe just showed up and just shot magic sprays at her to be like, and miracles. Like it loves that. And God loves to do that, to show you, hey, guess who's really in charge here? And guess who really wants you to be successful without struggling? You know, I think back to all of the miracles that Jesus performed. He wasn't like, okay, somehow we're going to clear leprosy here. Somehow we're going to turn water into wine. And I don't know how, but somehow he was just like, go bathe in the River Jordan 7 times. And they didn't know how it worked. No, here's a really cool thing. So when Moses and the children of Israel were like in the wilderness, they came across this stream, this river, and it was bracken. It was bitter. They couldn't drink it. And they were like, what are we going to do? We're starving. We're going to die of thirst, and this water we can't drink. And so Moses was take that tree and put it in the water. And they're like, what? That makes no sense whatsoever. So they cut down the tree, they put it in the water, and suddenly the water was changed. Suddenly they could drink the water. And they're like, miracle! Yes, it was. But let's talk about the science behind the miracle. The water was acidic. The tree was alkaline. He put the tree in the water, and it made it neutral. Like we had a base, and we had an acid, and they neutralized it. It doesn't mean it wasn't less of a miracle. You know, I have no idea how Jesus turned water into wine. I have no idea how he healed blindness. I have no idea how he healed leprosy. But there's science behind it. Like there are connections that were made behind it. We don't need to know right now. But the whole point is he wasn't in struggle. He had success without struggle. Remember when they were like, oh crap, we got to pay taxes and we don't have any money to pay taxes. And he's like, go fishing. And so they caught a fish and they gutted the fish, and inside the fish was the money to pay taxes. Like I think about that all the time. Just go fishing. Like let go of the struggle. Success without struggle is a success without the stress, without the wondering, without the how am I going to do this and figuring that out. No, all you have to figure out is where are my thoughts and what am I feeling? That's all you have to figure out, and then tweak as necessary. Sherry, you have a miracle story for us. I'm unmuting you. Okay. Tell us.
Thank you. This happened a few years ago, and I'm really glad that you're talking about this because it's bringing it back to me about this miracle. I used to work at a high school that was about 40 miles away, and I drove a state car there, and I had to check out a car, so it wasn't the same car. And sometimes I would get in the car, and the rules were that when you bring the car back, you're supposed to fill it with fuel, so that anytime somebody goes to get in a car, there's always fuel. Well, so I just got in the car, and I was kind of in a rush going to school that morning. And it's kind of a little mountainous drive to Enterprise, Utah. I don't know if you know where that is, but it goes through a lot of mountains. And I got in the car and I got up about halfway there, and I was having a really great morning. I mean, I was feeling really good. I was thinking really good thoughts. I was really just having a really great morning. And all of a sudden I looked down and I noticed that my gas tank was empty. Not just a little bit, but it was empty. The light was on and I was halfway, and I thought, okay, do I turn around and go back? Or do I keep going? Because I'm halfway. There's a gas station in Enterprise. But looking at the gas tank, I thought, there's no way I'm going to make it. But instead, I started praying, and I really had a faith. I just knew that it was going to work out. And I've had this feeling come over me that it was okay just to keep going, and it was going to work out. And so I just started really saying thank you. Thank you to God. Thank you to the universe. Noticing the car. And I come over this little mountain pass, and all of a sudden, I looked down and I saw my gas tank go from empty to full. The whole thing, like the little needle went from empty, it switched and went clear to full. And to me, that was it was such a miracle. This physical manifestation of this miracle. And strangely enough, when I got to Enterprise, I went to the gas station and filled the tank. And it took a full filling. But I found out later how it happened. But that I just sat in that miracle all day. And I still, when I think about it, it just brings me tingles, and I feel that I was so taken care of. I found out later that car had 2 gas tanks. One of them was a natural gas tank, and I didn't know it. And so when it switched over to the natural gas tank, which I had never filled the natural gas tank. They told us just not to worry about any of that. I didn't even know that car had the second gas tank. So I told my husband, but see, I didn't find out for a couple of days how it happened. So I just sat in this miracle. And then when I found out how it happened, part of me wanted to discount the miracle and say, well, that wasn't really a miracle because that tank was there all along. But my husband and I talked about it, and we're like, no, it really was a miracle. It was a miracle. So
Wow.
What you're saying, it was a natural thing. It happened. But it happened right in that moment that I needed it, and I was trusting it, and I had that feeling. I knew it was going to be okay. So I just wanted to share that.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love that. Thank you, Sherry. Oh, so cool. So cool. This is so juicy. Does anybody have anything to add or anything that's come up for them in this conversation?
My husband, I have to add that he, I'm not trying to get too excited about it yet, but he found a job not truck driving, and he's really excited about it. And it will help him be home so he can do his recording, because he's ready to take on that part of his life. So,
okay, so here's my question. Why are you trying not to get excited about it?
It's still gonna be. He's gonna be away a lot. It's a managerial position, so he's gonna be away a lot still. He'll still be home at night, but managerial position is a lot of night hours, so it's a better situation. It's a step up, I think, but I think for me being not stressed about it, like, oh my gosh, how are we going to survive and blah, 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 that I gave him the permission to, like, that he doesn't have to be a truck driver his whole life. So
awesome. So can you be really excited for what has come, that it is a step closer to what you want? And it might not be exactly what you want, but
yes.
Holy cow, look how we've shifted.
Yes, I am totally excited for that. I am. But I'm still kind of holding on to be like, it's still going to be not totally idealistic, but better than it was. So,
okay. So
but it's going to take a couple weeks to get to that point. So,
okay. So how do you have success in here without struggle?
I just have to let go and be glad that he's taking the next step so that he can be the head of the household and he can step into his glory, because he needs to do this recording business so he can fulfill his broadcasting part of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to support him in that.
So instead of looking at what's not going to be there, and you don't know, it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So even though the managerial position looks like it's going to have a whole lot of nights involved, you've never done it.
That's true.
So let go of like, oh, and now it's going to look this way. Okay, stay in today, and the miracle and the joy of the thing. This is working for us. Holy cow, we're that much closer. This is so fantastic. You know, it's like those jobs that we want, or the raise that we want, or the promotion, or like whatever that is. Sometimes it's so big. Like, I don't ever talk to anybody who doesn't want to be a millionaire, but that is so big. But then we tend to discount all of the victories along the way to that, right? And so it's like, okay, that's really big right now, but I'm just going to be so grateful that right now this is what we have. Like, wow, we are so taken care of, and we're one step closer to what it is that we want. And sometimes we get wobbly in our beliefs. We get wobbly in because we can't see how it's going to all pan out. Like, I shelved energy work. I shelved like my whole business that is my life right now. I shelved it for 5 years because I could not see how somebody could make money doing energy work, because I didn't have like the whole steps laid out for me. I was like, well, that wouldn't work. So there was the no, and I shut all the doors until like my inner self was just like, we're so miserable. You need to just walk through this, and then we'll stop beating you up all the time, right? But because I didn't see within my tiny little reference point how it was all going to work, I shut myself off to 5 years of just amazing opportunities with that. And, you know, and I can look back and berate myself for that, or I can say, you know, God knew it would take me 5 years to finally get to the point where I would listen and trust and move forward. And so he had to start with me sooner than, you know, like, here's the idea and run with it. Now I'm like, here's the idea, let's run with it. But that took some time. So like this whole energy journey and mindset journey and like all of this, I'm on a 10-year journey right now, but it took 5 years for me to even say yes to the journey, because I couldn't see how it would work out. So yeah, a lot of times people will wait until you believe it's possible. And so we wait for a really, 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 really long time. I got to wait until my belief, but your belief is a decision. Like I'm just going to decide. I'm going to decide that because I have this desire within me, all the parts for me to experience it physically are built within the desire. And I just have to make that assumption. Like, that is what it is, because that's true. If you have the desire within you, you also have the capability built within that desire to manifest it. God would be the most cruel being in the universe to give you a desire and then no way to accomplish experiencing that desire in physical form the way it was meant to be experienced. That like the universe and God and angels and like all of that, all of that higher intelligence would be cruel and capricious and would not, like, it just wouldn't work if they're like, you want to do it, but good luck doing it, because we gave you the desire, but not the ability to actually bring it to fruition. Good luck with that. Like, the universe isn't that way. So you get to decide. You get to decide, even though I've never built a boat before, someone's going to show me how to build a boat. Even though, because I want to get someplace else and it requires me to cross an ocean and I know I can't swim it. So somebody's going to show me, an idea is going to come. And sometimes we get to suspend, we just get to suspend our disbelief, and we pop into the world of possibilities. In the world of possibilities, can I actually create what I want? In that world? Yeah, in that world I can, because I get to create in that world. And when you decide that and you step into the world of possibilities, and let me be really clear with you. So here is the world of your story, okay? We're just going to use these dice to represent. And here's the world of possibilities. And we think that they're in this galaxy that are light years away from each other. Your world of the story and your world of possibilities are literally right next to each other. They are one tiny little step away from each other. And our story is all of the, I can't do it, I don't know enough, I don't have any money, I'm not talented enough, I don't have the right connections, I haven't been doing this long enough, I have no credibility, I'm a hot mess myself, so how can I teach anybody else what I really want to teach? Like, that's your story, right? And it comes from programming, it comes from your upbringing, it comes from society, it comes from, like, that's where it comes from. But in the world of possibilities, like, who are you in the world of possibilities? And the world of possibilities is like, but this is what I'd love to do. Like, if I could do anything that I wanted, or if I could have life show up for me in any way that I wanted it to, what would that look like? And how would I feel? More importantly, how would I feel? And the most important of all, who would I be in this world of possibilities? Who would I be? So is it possible for me to be that? In the world of possibilities, you know when you have stepped from the world of the story into the world of possibilities immediately, because you feel better. Like, you feel more creative, you feel excited, you feel more confident. And all you've done is like just shift from your story into, okay, but if I'm in the world of possibilities, do I believe in myself in the world of possibilities? Yeah, I do. Because it's the world of possibilities. So it's possible for me to believe in myself, even though I haven't seen how it's all going to work for me or how I'm going to do it. Yeah, in the world of possibilities, I totally believe in myself. Okay, what else in the world of possibilities? Are you confident in the world of possibilities? Are you calm in the world of possibilities? Does success come without struggle in the world of possibilities? Because it's the world of possibilities. Yeah, let's have all of that too. Because it's the world of possibilities, and this is what I create. Like, Ioana chose the world of possibilities, totally stepped in the world of possibilities over this last weekend, and look at what happened. Just because she decided, without knowing how it was all going to work out, and not getting herself all in a wad about how it was going to work out. Who said it? Who said it? Somebody said it in this call. You just keep going. I don't know how it's going to work out. Just keep going. Just keep going. One step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. And some things are going to be like, that's not quite what I had envisioned. Okay, cool. Well, then we're just going to course correct just a little bit. We're just going to change our stance just a little bit. We're going to tweak this just a tiny bit. And then we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, especially when things are rough. Holy cow, it was Winston Churchill who said, when you're in hell, keep going. And most of us just stop there and we set up camp and we try to sell souvenirs and we try to live there, right? Even though we're miserable. Well, God, when you're in hell, keep going. Holy cow. But even when you're in that, there's something there to bless you. There's something there to help you. There is something that's like, oh, this is juicy. Oh, this is going to be so juicy on the other side of this. It's universal law. Right? It's the law of relativity and the law of polarity. This feels awful right now. This is catastrophic right now. I'm just going to keep going. I did a Facebook Live last week or the week before on, if we survive this, it'll be a totally boss story. And that it was a scene from Central Intelligence with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. And they're surrounded by the CIA and they all have their guns trained on them. They're in this high-rise office building and Kevin Hart is in this mail cart. And Dwayne Johnson's behind him, and he leans down, and he's like, I got a plan. We might not survive, but if we do, it'll be a totally boss story. Cool? And Kevin Hart's like, no, I'm not cool. I don't want to do this. And he's like, cool. And so he grabs the mail cart that Kevin Hart is in, and he runs full speed through the window of this high-rise building. They crash through the window, and there's this gigantic blow-up like King Kong balloon like animal right on at the building, and they land on that, and then they escape the building. And I saw, that's one of my favorite scenes in that whole show, just because he's like, we might not survive, but if we do, it's a totally boss story. And so I would tell that to my husband all the time. This is going to be a totally boss story. I don't know how. I just know it's going to be a boss story. And we just laugh and laugh. And I would say that to myself as well. When things were all falling apart, or I didn't know how it was going to work out, or how I was going to get from A to B to K, I don't know. It's just going to be such a boss story. Holy cow, this story is going to be amazing. And that's the law of polarity. And in that moment, what am I choosing to connect to? I'm choosing to connect to where I want to be and who I want to be in that moment when it is all worked out. Last year was bumpy. And I remember having these conversations with God saying, whew, this is really intense right now. I have no idea how you're going to fix this, but you will. And it's going to be awesome on the other side of this, because wow, this is so intense right now. Instead of going into victim, like things have never been worse than they are. And why aren't things working out? And I'm a good person and I am generous and I pay a tithing and I support a missionary for the church and I'm reading scriptures like I'm a praying kind of girl. Like instead of going all victim-y like that, like, where are you, God? Why aren't you helping me? Which we all tend to do. I was just like, whew. Okay, I don't know why this is going on, except probably it's me. And so I'm just going to say, wow, thanks for untangling this. Thank you so much. I don't know how you're going to untangle it. You just are. And I'm so excited to get on that side of this, because this feels really hot right now and it's super uncomfortable. Like I acknowledge that, but oh, that means that on this other side of it, oh, it's that same degree, just the opposite of what I'm going through right now. So it's going to be mind-blowingly fabulous. Thank you. I just got to keep going through this, and I got to keep focusing on what it is I want and not currently what is. And we get so caught up in the evidence of what is, but remember, what is we created 2 weeks ago. We're just living the physical evidence of that. Or maybe we created it 3 months ago and we're just living it now. So we got to deal with it now, but pull away from the emotion. Don't hide from it. If you created not having enough money to pay all your bills, and don't hide from it. Be like, okay, but don't put all this emotion into it either. Because remember, we literally create with our thoughts and our emotions. Our dominant thoughts are our dominant emotions. Our subconscious thinks in pictures and feelings. So we picture, like ladies, last year, I pictured myself as we got closer and closer to the end of a month going off a cliff. And I was trying to, like, with my heels, you know, like the cartoons, like they dig in their heels and somebody's pushing them against a cliff to go off. Like I pictured that in my mind and I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But I was seeing myself going off the cliff. And I was seeing the financial catastrophe, and I was hearing in my mind, I told you setting up your own business would lead to financial ruin. I was hearing all this, and I was totally creating that exact scenario to happen physically, because it was the constant thing I thought about, and there was so much emotion and passion behind it that is inevitably what had to happen. It's why I lost my business in the first place, almost lost my business the first time. Because of all of the stress that I was, and all the anxiety. What if I can't hold it? What if I can't maintain it? What if I can't sustain it? What if my clients don't like me? What if they don't get results? What if I don't save them? Oh, okay. Well, it had to come tumbling down. And I'm so glad it did. That, like, I would have worked myself into a heart attack with that. And how many times do we work ourselves up into this frenzy with things that haven't even happened yet? And so the key, my lovely, fabulous, powerful women, is that when those thoughts come, and I promise you they will, those what if thoughts will come to you every day. You get to confront them every day. And remember, confront only means to face. Okay? You get to face those thoughts every day. You get to face your story, and then you get to decide, do I stay in my story or do I go to possibilities? Where am I going to go? But when you can catch them when they're little, when they start with the, oh, but what if next Tuesday comes and that bill is due and we don't, oh, I'm in today. So in today, I'm going to express gratitude that we have enough money to pay the bills. I'm going to express gratitude that I have a great relationship with my stepdaughter. going to express gratitude that I'm feeling connected to my spouse or my partner. I'm going to express gratitude for the job that I have, or that I've got a body that's working for me. And maybe it's not working to the degree that you want it to, but there are parts of your body that are definitely working. So today, I'm just going to appreciate that. And I'm not going to let myself go to next Friday. I'm not going to let myself go into, okay, how many days till payday? Because what you're already doing is you're already connecting with what's not there. So when we can catch them as little baby thoughts and just be aware of them and then kick them out, and the way we do that is gratitude and appreciation for what is working now, what currently is, what can I feel satisfied with right now today. And sometimes, ladies, the dumber, the better. Like so I had a coach and she was like, what is the smallest, most insignificant thing that you can think of to be grateful for? She's like, have you ever been grateful for an eyelash curler? And I'm like, do you know what I'm so grateful for? Q-tips. Oh, I love Q-tips, especially when I get out of a shower. So the wax in my ears is soft and I can just, oh, that feels so good. I'm so grateful for Q-tips. Or floss, dental floss, especially if I've got something that's stuck in my teeth. Oh, like you can't even think about anything else except dental floss or figuring out how to get that stuff out of your teeth until it's out, right? Can you think about those tiny little things that are working in your life? Like, you know what? My bra straps are staying on my shoulders. That is working for me right now in this moment. And when we can get like even small and insignificant like that, that's actually really, really powerful. Because the more that we express gratitude and the greater feeling of appreciation we have for those things that get unnoticed, we just start attracting more and more bigger and bigger things. Because the universe is like, holy crap, she's noticing everything and is appreciative of everything. So let's just send her more of everything. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, there are times when we have like challenges that come up, right? And it's not that, oh crap, I did something wrong in my vibration, or I had that one thought that I didn't go right in and nip right in the bud. Sometimes life, because energy is intelligent and life is run by this all-knowing God who knows what is best for us in the long run, says she's ready to grow. She is ready to up level, and so many people are like, I have enough character, as if character is like this consolation prize. I didn't get what I want, but it sure was a character building experience. And it was like, but that experience is actually preparing you for the bigger experience to come, the bigger, better, more wonderful experience that you actually want more than you wanted the result that where you got character instead. And so a lot of times that will come as like a challenge. It will come out of nowhere. And then we're like, well, what did I do wrong? Oh, you did everything right. You're ready for that deeper level of learning. The universe and God now trusts you with more knowledge, with more intelligence, with a bigger playing field. Instead, we go to, well, that fell apart and this is falling apart and nothing's working. And, we'll tend to go into that. Instead, it's like, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. This is here because I'm ready. And do I want it? Well, not really. But apparently this is for my good. Like I tell people all the time, it's all good. It's all good. And I mean that deeper than I have ever meant it before. Everything works together for your good. If you lose your home, it works together for your good. If you lose your relationship, it works for your good. It works to move you forward. It helps to make you a more powerful creator of your life and of your reality. Sherry, can I read this to everybody? Is that cool? Okay, so Sherry said, when I get challenged and slip back into very old childhood programming thoughts, I just acknowledge it and then move into the world of possibilities. Yes. Is there something else I can do to release strong emotion that accompanies the old story that gets poked? And Sherry says, I love reminding myself that everything works for my good. Yes. So, what do I choose? Do I prefer the old story with this emotion of not good enough, nobody cares about me, I'll never amount to anything, nobody has my back, I'm all alone in the world, whatever it is that it's that feeling is coming up and that thought that accompanies it, what do I choose? Like, do I prefer that, or do I prefer, I got this, I have what it takes? What do I prefer? Okay, so I've got more programming, because ladies, you're always going to have that programming. You just are. You get to choose whether you run it or not. Okay? And so, yeah, what do I prefer? Okay, I love this. What do I prefer? Oh, look, you're here again. Oh, that's interesting. I'm in my story every day. It shows up for me every day. Oh, I'm in my story. Okay, so what do I prefer? Do I prefer feeling like I'm not enough and I got to do more? Or do I prefer, hey, I got this. I can teach right where I'm at and affect thousands of lives. Like, what do I prefer? Do I prefer believing in myself or waiting for somebody to pick me? What do I prefer? Oh, I prefer believing in myself. So I want to share with you this one last story. Awesome questions, everybody, and awesome participation. This has been such a great review of the program. So no, this is exactly what we need. Holy cow, this may be the most powerful call of all. So I was, let me read Ioannis first. Our patterns don't have to define us. We can separate them from them and be something else. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They don't have to. And our past doesn't define us either. But too often we choose that our past does define us. And our patterns too. Like, how many times do we totally go into judgment when our patterns show up again? Like, why am I here again? I didn't learn the lesson. What is there to learn? Oh man, I thought I handled this. I faced off with this just a little while ago. Oh, interesting. I'm here again. Okay. So what do I get to do this time with this? Ultimate faith experiment. That's what I get to do with this time. Now it's not about what I think it's about. What it's about now is, can I connect to the infinite intelligence of the universe and the absolute certainty that God is beside me and provides for all my needs and wants, and move forward in that belief and that energy, because I choose it. Let's do that. Let's do that. So it's not anymore about, oh, I have relief because I landed the contract. Oh, I have relief because I got a promotion. Oh, I have relief because I got the film greenlit. Like, suddenly it's not that anymore. It's like, I have relief because I got God behind me and I can do anything with God. I'm an atonement girl. Holy cow, I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the atonement. I don't need anybody to save me because I've already been saved. And with that kind of power behind me, I can be as human and make as many mistakes as I choose, and as, quite frankly, are required for our learning and growth. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get what it is that I want. So it's like when those patterns show up, it's like, oh, this is really interesting. I get to choose. I get to choose. It's not, oh, well, here I am. That's just the way I am. Like, biggest cop-out in the history of cop-outs. Total cop-out. Okay, so what was the story I was going to share with you? It was so awesome at the time. The angels were like, no, this is more important than the story you're going to share, Allison. Okay, let me give it a minute. Angels, if this needs to come back, then I know you'll bring it back to me. You know how it's just like right there? It's just like nebulous, like, oh, it was really great, wonderful thing to close with. And it's still just hanging there, just hanging. Let's see, let me bring up the chat again and see if anything. What do I prefer? No, my angels don't want me to share it right now. It's not coming, but it's okay. It's all good. Because if it comes, then I'll just do a Facebook Live in the group and share with you what the story was. So it's good. Everything's fabulous. Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. Okay. 2 things. And then I want to hear some takeaways and some goodbyes and some, what you plan to do moving forward with this information, that if you apply it, I promise, ladies, it will transform you. I promise. I would lay down my life on that. Absolutely. that if you take even just what we talked about from this call alone and took one nugget out of it and applied it, within 30 days, your life would be completely unrecognizable, because you would be completely unrecognizable. Your life is just a reflection of you. So we've got the intensive coming up next week. Well, you've got until Monday to decide whether you're going to join or not. So you can either PM me or email me, or put it in the group if you want, so I can get the materials to you in time. But if you think today was juicy, you just wait for 3 days of stuff like this, guys. Like, holy cow. It's amazing what happens when you let go and say, God, what do I get to teach and what do they need to hear? And then suddenly, boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm over the moon, excited for that intensive. I'm not kidding that they're life skills and they will change your life. If that is not something that you feel called to or pulled to, you can still stay in this conversation for $27 a month. And I have my Prosperity Revolution group. And with that, it's 10 minutes of online training once a week, and then a 60-minute Zoom call once a month where it's Q&A, it's juicy calls like this, it's energy work, it's all of that once a month. And so you can cancel anytime. It's not like a year-long contract. It goes indefinitely. So you'll actually get a 7-day free trial for that when you sign up. I'll drop the link in the Facebook group for that if that's something that you feel like, you know what, I still want to be part of this conversation, because I promise it's not going to stop here. Holy cow, there's just too much light coming in. There's too much coolness coming in. So I'll drop those links in there. I feel like I'm in the torn up phase. My life is being plowed up, ready for new planting. We are all a big time work in progress. Absolutely. And you know, I rather than the torn up phase, I like the metamorphosis phase. Like, I'm a big ugly bug and I'm turning into a butterfly. But in that stage, it's smelly. It's like things are dissolving. They're probably bubbling. I don't look good, right? On the inside, like just, like I am totally melting, so that I can have these beautiful, colorful, bright wings and this svelte, fabulous body, and I can fly. And then I can get through that metamorphosis phase, right? The intensive is next weekend. It's April 19th, 20th, and 21st. So next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you cannot make the trek to Salt Lake, I have an online option. I'm going to stream it online through Facebook in a closed private group. Closed, private, secret, so nobody can get in. And I will live stream it, and I will keep it up there, and I'll pop everybody who's already signed up for the intensive in there as well. And I'll keep that live stream open for a few days afterwards, so you can go back if you like. I have one gal who can't get off all of work for it, so she's going to go back and catch a half day, 4 or 5 days after the intensive ends. And I'm happy to do that. So if you want to be live streamed into it, we'll have somebody manning the camera so you can still ask questions. You'll still get that effect. I'm going to mail you the materials so you don't have to download them. I mean, the manual is already 75 pages and I'm not done yet. I'm getting there, but it's not quite done yet. And so like, it's what you need. It's everything that you need right now to get you to that next spot. And so I have tried to make it as easy access as possible for you to say yes to you and get this training and get this transformation that is that's ready for you. And it's here because you're ready for it. So again, if you have any questions, you are welcome to email me or PM me or pop it in the group. I'm going to leave this group open. And so you can come in and grab materials, you can grab trainings, you can watch all of them. I'm not ever going to close this group. So I'm not going to monitor this group though. I am going to turn, so this is what's going on in my mind right now is I want to make this I want to make this program automated. So I'm going to end up making a membership site, and then I'll take all the trainings and put it over into the membership site. And so once I do that, I'll actually just give you guys access to that, and then the recordings will just be all right there. So I'm not going to take the recordings that we've done as a group, because we've talked about some sensitive topics and people's faces have been on video and so forth and so on. So I'm actually just going to re-record all of the calls and then put them in that membership site. So, but you'll get access to that once that is complete. And then once that's complete, I'll probably shut this group down. But that's at least 90 days in the future. So you don't have to be like, oh shoot, it's going to happen next Thursday. Nope, it's not. I got other things coming down the pike first. But within, I'm hoping by the end of the summer that's the format that it will be under. So you're welcome to tag me. I get notifications from this group, but I'm not going to go in and continually monitor the group or, leave things up or things. But I certainly want to still stay connected with everybody. So you are welcome to PM me. You're welcome to tag me on things if you've got questions. I'm going to give you all an opportunity to give a testimonial if this was a helpful course for you to take, where you started, what you learned, what changed as we worked together. And I would love to be able to put that up on my website if that's something that you're comfortable with. So I'll send out a form that everybody can fill out for a testimonial. But this has been by far my favorite group. I just have to say, like, the stuff that we've done and the people that have been in this group, this is the third or fourth time that I've run this course. And it gets better every time. And you guys have been my favorite. Don't tell the others. So thank you. So thank you so much for that. Question, will we still have access to the Voxer stuff? Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna shut down the Voxer group. I forgot about that, Sherry. So thank you for asking about that. And if you've got some questions going forward, you're welcome to get in that Voxer group and Vox me. I'm not going to be like, you can't have access to me anymore. I'm not. There are some people that are like that, and I just don't roll that way. So yeah, if you've got questions in there, you're welcome to Vox in that group there. So, all right, my ladies, my friends, I'm going to unmute you. Thank you so much for being part of this. All right. Any takeaways? Anything that you want to say before we say goodbye?
Keep it simple, sweetheart.
That's right. Moment by moment.
That's what I'm thinking. Keep it simple. Have what you want, and then use power, not force, to make it happen.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Alison.
My pleasure.
All I've got to say is just do the work. Don't think it. Just do it.
Yes.
Just like how long have I known you now? Just do the work. Less thinking, more doing. Yes.
I love it. And this coming from our K. Total knowledge, total science brain. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Anybody else?
This has just been a wonderful group.
Thank you, Sherry.
Very wonderful.
Thank you.
I've liked all the interactions we've had, whether it be on Facebook or Voxer. I look back at my first few weeks of where I started from, and I can honestly say I was a mess. And I'm much better because of you, Alison, and all of you guys for helping answer my questions and reading my silly posts. So thank you. I know that helping me get out of victim mode and me realizing my stories when I'm thinking those things, I know that from here on out, I'm going to be more conscious of that and be able to change my story. So thank you.
Awesome. And I just have to say, your silly posts sparked some really deep, fabulous conversations. So thank you for being the catalyst to that and being willing to be vulnerable with that, because you facilitated a lot of deep work for other people by being willing to say, this is what I'm up against. So thank you for that. Powerful women. I am not kidding. You guys are so powerful. And what an honor it has been for me to be able to interact with you guys for the last 12 weeks. So thank you. You're amazing.
Thank
All
you.
right. Much love to you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And we will see you in the Facebook group. Hopefully we'll see some of you in the intensive, and we will just stay connected. All right? So
Yes,
plan on that.
certainly.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.